Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Rosales, and I'm here to talk about Asian Americans and birthright citizenship. So, I'm gonna link it down in the description below, but this is the Energizer. If you guys just want to pop it open and yeah, pull it open, so read through the passage and then come up with a couple ideas that you've gained from the passage about um ethnic racial ethnic diversity of adults and children. Yeah. So the purpose of this presentation is to educate students on racism, discrimination, birthright citizenship, and how can we see racism in government actions and decisions such as birthright citizenship. So a couple vocabulary terms that we want to kind of dive into is Pan-Asian America, racism and discrimination, and birthright citizenship. So let's go ahead and start off with Pan-Asian America. Pan-Asian America is the inclusive pan-ethnic grouping of diverse populations in the United States who trace their ancestry to East, South, and Southeast Asia. This is fundamental and logical belief behind Asian American society, specifically those with API, Asian American Pacific Islander, and APIDA, Asian Pacific Islander Desi American backgrounds. The second term is racism and discrimination. Racism and discrimination is the idea that one race is superior or inferior to another race. The manifestation of this belief system resulting in prejudice or unjust treatments based on race. Many Asian Americans are faced with racism and discrimination due to a rise in white supremacy and how people are being taught to act and respond. The third terminology, and this is the focus for this teaching, is the birthright citizenship. So, birthright citizenship is the fact that you are a United States citizen by birth if you are born on American soil. This affects many people in many ways, seeing that citizenship is something that is binding a person to sovereign state for allegiance and civil and political rights. Most people are often denied these rights as a result of racism or discrimination. Additionally, with lack of proper documentation, or additionally, with lack of proper documentation, that makes you a citizen. So, yeah, let's jump into the essential questions. What is the Supreme Court ruling regarding birthright citizenship? How are Asian Americans affected by this ruling? And how is Pan-Asian America unified and divided by this ruling? So let's dive into those questions and answering them. So, what is the Supreme Court ruling regarding birthright citizenship? This is under the 14th Amendment, and birthright citizenship is present and explained. All persons born and naturalized in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States, and the state therein they reside. This therefore means that anyone born on American soil is naturalized into America, or is naturalized into America, is considered a citizen. This is the Supreme Court's ruling. So, yeah. How are Asian Americans affected by this ruling? Asian Americans are affected by this ruling because not only this impacts the family, but also this impacts the community and an Asian American can interact with. So, yeah. And how is Pan-Asian America unified and divided by this ruling? Pan-Asian America is unified by this ruling through showing that those born of immigrants on United States soil are citizens. This is a ruling that expands beyond and Asian Americans and includes those of other ethnicities and ethnic backgrounds. It is a common legal foundation and has become part of a broader Asian American activism. Additional questions that can be asked to poke at the bear and um, inspire curiosity are are Asian Americans marginalized? How do Asian Americans fall under white supremacy and the white male gaze? How are Asian Americans discriminated against and racialized in racial movements and motivations? How can people stand in resistance against white supremacy and the white male gaze? How does this unify Asian Americans in America as Americans? How does this represent the racial triangulation theory where Asian Americans and Black Americans come together against white supremacy? How does this apply to birthright citizenship and correlate to Asian American experiences? So there you go. And then to dive into our closing question, what have you learned about Pan-Asian America and where it stands? How does this affect you in your personal life? How can you apply what you learned in this presentation to birthright citizenship and citizenship of Asian Americans? So that's everything. Thank you guys so much. This year has been honestly inspirational, and I'm grateful to have been able to partake in this class. So yeah, anywho. Bye bye, everybody. I hope you have a great summer or fall. Bye. Mm.